Hello everyone, welcome to your Project 2 answer section. So what I did was I looked at a video game called Defense of the Ancients. This is kind of a side project of mine that I do for fun when I'm trying to bone up on certain skills that I haven't really gotten acquainted with. So I like to do things that are fun for me. So I found some chat information from this data set on Kaggle that has, line by line for a bunch of matches, what people have said during a game. And I wanted to run some sentiment analysis on that and see if I could find any interesting things. So what I ended up doing was loading up these packages here. I used pandas for my data frame. I also loaded up SciPy just in case, NLTK obviously. I also made sure I had the sentiment analyzer loaded up, as well as NumPy and this operator package that I'm going to use to do a quick trick with dictionaries. So first thing I did was I built my sentiment analyzer object, just with default parameters here, and then I loaded up only 10,000 rows of that chat file. That thing is like really large. It's, how big is it? It's, 20 megabytes of data. So that's quite a bit to parse and process through. How many rows does it even say it has? I can't see the amount of rows, but there are like, tens of thousands, over 100,000 rows, I'm pretty sure. So a lot to process. So I only took out 10,000 rows so I can just like prototype and show you guys how this all works. And so what I did was I created a sentiment analysis. I didn't do TF-IDF, but I wanted to do a little trick with it. So first thing I did was I extracted the sentiment for every player, for every message in the game. And then I went back and checked to see on average, what is like on average, what is the maximum what sentiment was the maximum? So are people saying positive, neutral, negative, or compound things more than others? So what I ended up doing was I got each individual average sentiment value for every message. I then calculated the mean for for all of their messages. So player 1 had 10 different chats or 10 different messages with positive and negative sentiment values, all collected. I took the mean of all of those individual sentiments for that list, negative, positive, so on, and found which one had the highest sentiment average, which had the largest number, basically. And so how I ended up doing that was this up to here collects all of the individual sentiments per chat, and then I go here where I go back through that same dictionary and I calculate the means for each of the sentiments for that player. I then use this function here, which is from the operator function, which gives you the key with the maximum value in your dictionary. So if I had a bunch of these and they were just not lists but means, it would find, and let's say this was the mean with the highest, it would pull out this key. And that's what I'm saving here as max sentiment. I then add the maximum sentiment, the actual maximum sentiment, to my tally dictionary so that I can then conduct an overall mean of what each of these players, on average, what was the maximum sentiment for each player for all games, okay? And so when I print that, what do we get? It's going to take a little bit to run because there's a fair amount of data that it passes through. Here we are. So it found that on average, for most people, negative was very negative. There was a high amount of positive as well, but there's also compound emotions. So it sounds like this sentiment analysis showed that there's generally either strong negative or positive values. It looks like the positive is even stronger though. So when people are positive, it's very clear they're positive, and when they're negative, maybe this means that Dota games are not as toxic as people think they are. Maybe it means other things, who knows? But there's a lot additional work you could do with this, and this is just kind of a satisfying answer for Project 2. Okay guys, thank you much and see you next time.